If you want to save yourself 3 years of training without elite results, watch this video. My name's Achilles. I trained for 3 years seriously in the gym, and I'm talking about tracking macros, tracking workouts, very intense workouts, training 6 days a week, never skipping a day. I was training religiously. I consumed every single piece of information you could possibly consume online. I was following accredited PhD scientists to give me all my fitness information, and yet this is what I looked like after 3 years of training. Obviously, the problem wasn't the fact that I didn't have the right information or I wasn't trying hard enough, because I really was. I was giving it my all. I was training so intensely. I was watching a lot of push forward content, be the man, and I was really getting the work done. I was not skipping any gym sessions. I was eating the best of my ability, tracking every macro. But obviously, something was still missing. So when I really look back and think about my life during that period of time, I realized that it was simply just the fact that I was stuck in a cycle of burnout. My life was all over the place. I had many different concurrent goals that I was working on that I would stress over and worry about, and it was taking a toll on me. I had a business I was trying to push forward. I had a crypto account that I was managing. On top of that, having this fitness to deal with and get the boxes ticked on that. I was just all over the place, and I didn't really give myself breathing room, and I was constantly pushing forward. My time and schedule was packed to the brim every single day. I was still working out. I was still getting the things I had to done, but I was stuck in a cycle of burnout because I would work like a dog for a week or two straight, no breaks. Literally every hour of the day I was working. And then follow those 1 to 2 weeks, and I didn't really pick up on the cycle till after being it for like six to 8 months. But I would take 2 to 3 days of just pure destructiveness because my body had to cope with all the turmoil I was putting on it. And this was sustainable for like 6 months. I was able to function at this capacity, but it got to the point where my body no longer was able to do it. And because of these very intense workload, I would burn out, and I would seek to all of my vices, shit food, porn, weed, just everything I could to get away from the fact that, it was too much for me to handle, in all these different categories of life, not even to mention the part-time jobs I still had to keep up with, the life I still had to keep up with, the family around me. And this just led me to have pretty shit fitness results like this one's on the screen here. And it wasn't the vices themselves. Yes, the fact that, I was eating more than I was supposed to on a cut, for example, and I was fucking myself up in that way for fitness. Yes, that simple fact was affecting me. But it wasn't really the vices, the food, the shit, the horribleness that I had in my life. It was just the way I structured my life, the way I went about my life that was the root cause to the reason why I didn't have elite level fitness results. During this time, like I said, I had many other things going on. And whilst I had all these other things going on, I was in the self-improvement era, that stage, whatever that was, that block of YouTube. I was reading all the books, watching all the podcasts, watching all the videos, trying to soak up as much information as I possibly could to be a high-level man or be that top figure. And it's essentially, I was just working without intent. I was just working for the sense and the feeling of being productive without having any real intent behind the results I actually wanted. And I knew I wanted fitness results, but my mind felt better just being busy and occupied and having every hour of the day taken and contributing to something. But it's like I was spread so thin that I was unable to see progress in any area of life, which is the reason why, and I talk about this on my channel, how everything went to shit. Everything I was working on during that period of time failed. And the most important thing to me that hurt the most was my fitness results. Being spread so thin, it made me do the bare minimum for the gym. I was just focused on ticking boxes, training, sleeping, eating my macros. And I wasn't really invested in the goal. There wasn't really a why. It was just because I had to get the box ticked. That was the only reason why I was even doing the action items. There was no real reasoning or feeling behind it that got me to the goal and allowed me to stick with it and actually enjoy it and view the progress that came with it. I was just so focused on ticking boxes at the time of feeling productive, doing everything that I could and possibly in life, that I didn't give it the proper time and attention needed to actually get elite level fitness results. Though the action items were pretty similar to what I did when I did get fitness results, I wasn't invested into the journey. I didn't have a real reason on why to achieve the results. And you don't get elite fitness results by accident. It happens intentionally. They're action items. You lead up to it. You work your way to it. You don't just wake up overnight and have elite fitness results from working out for a week straight or eating clean a week straight or following that plan you said you would. It takes actual dedication and time and letting things play out in order to get elite fitness results. And it wasn't until I cut everything in my life and focused purely on getting elite level fitness results that I actually achieved them. It wasn't until I dumbed down my life and made it simple and made it so hard for me to fail that I actually started to get real results. And by making my life more simple, by making my life less complex, by being less productive as I seen at the time, that's when I started to get elite level fitness results. The action items were still the same, but just the way I structured my life, having one goal to look forward to and one goal to keep tabs with, to be conscious of the goal, throughout life, allowed me to stick with it and stay with it no matter what, no matter how bad I felt, no matter what was going on in life. I refused to reset because this was the only thing that I really had to focus on and push forward at this time. So just focusing my attention to that one thing allowed me to stick with it because there was no other thing to worry about. There was just this one single thing that was in front of me that I knew had to be done, and that was it. Like I said, no matter what was going on in life, no matter how bad I felt that day, I know that this one goal was all I had to do, and all I had to do was just tick off these check boxes and then rest. And that's all there was to it. Once you make life simple and you stop overcomplicating it, and you get less overwhelmed, which helps you stick with your actual goal that you actually want to complete. And it just makes everything so much easier in obtaining elite level fitness results. You don't have the constant noise of other things in life going on in the background. Your mind's not constantly in run mode 24/7 to the point where you have to reset on yourself, sacrificing your fitness results and goals. And you're just not a wreck and a mess, and you're clean and you're grounded and you're calm and you're present. You are not in a different world. You're here only, focused on the only goal in front of you, and that's life. And you do that for a certain block of time until you get that goal and you get the result that you want, and then you move forward in life. And that's the proper way to move about life into getting elite level fitness results and also just achieving anything you want in life. Either way, guys, it's Achilles. If you want to work with me to get elite level fitness results, book a call down below. We can see where you're at, where we can be, structure our life in a way that makes it impossible for us not to get elite level fitness results. Either way, guys, book a call down below, and that's going to wrap up this one.